Truly, truly, I say to you, whatever you ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you. Notice the shift. Not asking Jesus, now is asking the Father. This is not a downgrade in access, it's an upgrade in intimacy. Jesus is not handing them off a colder authority of his departure means a change of regime. He's not saying, I'm leaving you, so good luck with the Father. It's not like us parents. Sometimes the mom would say, wait until your father comes. It's not a different kind of relationship. He's saying, my entire mission has been to bring you to him. The goal was never to keep them dependent on a visible Messiah, but to restore them to a loving Father. Up to this point, they hadn't prayed this way. Until now, you have asked nothing in my name. That kind of prayer belongs to a new order, the life made possible by the cross. Prayer to the Father through the Son in the Spirit. A Trinitarian access. This is a family language. Adopted children, not distant servants. And Jesus doesn't just permit it, he commands it. Ask and you will receive, that your joy may be full. And this is not a transactional prayer. This is a relational prayer. Asking is not a technique for us to get things from God. It's the posture of those who belong to him. Prayer is what life with the Father sounds like. Here's the surprise. Jesus ties prayer directly to joy. Not answered prayer alone, but the fact of asking itself. Not answered prayer alone. And why is that? Because prayer locates your life where it actually is. Not self-sufficient, not autonomous, but dependent, received, upheld. Prayer reminds you who you are and whose you are. Jesus continues acknowledging what they already feel. I have spoken these things to you in illustrations. In other words, I know this still feels murky. Their confusion is not rebellion, it's just limitation. They simply don't yet have categories for the crucified and risen Savior. But he promises clarity is coming. An hour is coming when I will tell you plainly about the Father. That hour comes through the resurrection and the Spirit. The cross will explain everything the metaphors could not. When they see the Son lifted up, bearing our sin, conquering death, returning to glory, then the Father's heart will no longer feel abstract. God will no longer be an idea to fear, but a Father for us to approach. Jesus continues to clear up a misunderstanding we're still prone to today. He says, in that day you will ask in my name, and I do not say to you that I will ask the Father on your behalf. He's not denying his intercession. He is correcting our imagination. Prayer is not a celestial game of telephone tag where Jesus reluctantly passes our request like a receptionist to an otherwise a distant God. So Jesus says it plainly, for the Father himself loves you. Let that land. Not tolerates you, not puts up with you. The Father himself loves you. Why is that? Because you have loved me and have believed that I came from God. This is not earning love. It's evidence of relationship. Love for the Son and faith in his mission are the marks of belonging. God's love initiated salvation. Our love responds to it. The circle is now complete. Father sends the Son reveals the Father, and the Spirit brings us to that shared love. So what does Jesus do? He flashes the gospel to them. I came from the Father and entered the world. Now I am leaving the world and going to the Father. At that moment, they might have not understand what this means. But we are on the other side of the gospel of his resurrection, we understand what he's talking about here. He's talking about incarnation, humiliation, crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension. Told in one whole breath. Why does Jesus says all this here? Because prayer only makes sense when the gospel is clear. Access to the Father rests on the finished work of the Son. Joy flows from knowing where you stand. And confidence in prayer grows when you stop imagining God as a reluctant and start trusting him as a Father. So when you ask, you're not interrupting him. You're not crossing a line. You're coming home. And Jesus says, ask. 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 Access to the Father does not remove us from the pressures of the world. It prepares us to face them. Prayer is not an escape hatch from reality. It is how God steadies his people within it. And now Jesus presses even deeper, exposing not only the world's opposition, but the disciples' own fragile confidence. What we need is more than access. We need assurance. So Jesus lifts their eyes from what they will soon face to what he has already finished.